There we go. What's going on? Sekou.
What up? Nick Krem. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are following us and you heard last night, man, this is the gentleman that I've been talking about, man. It's like if you're not pursuing him in order to get better content for your site, for your page, for your life, for your business, you are an incredible idiot. So that's all I'm going to say at the beginning. That's my endorsement of my friend and my partner, Nick Krem, right here. What's going on, Nicky?
Yeah, man. Now we're partners. Now we got this working together, man. That's what the whole Sekou Krem was all about. We looked at this. I'm like, man, you're the only one that could get me back on the phone. As far as I say that all the time. I was just talking.
Well, you bringing me out of the dark ages, and all I keep doing is saying we put the relationship in contacts, baby. We put the R in contacts and make it contracts.
Yeah, you're getting it. You're getting it, man. That's what it's about, though. I was just talking to somebody today, and they're like, "Yeah, so we're doing we're starting to do like the script training and doing things." Like, man, step one, you need to get Sekou on there with you. Like, because that man is absolute. I'm like, you want to talk about a wizard on the phone? I'm like, I said Sekou before myself. Like, I'm like, this guy is an absolute. Like, the only word I can come up with is like phone wizard. Like, I don't
phone
know
wizard. Aloha Mora.
Like, you just make magic happen. I don't know how it happens, but it's amazing. Like, I tune into your lives, and all of a sudden I'm calling like some of my old clients. Like, hey, you need someone to call for you? You're like, no,
dude.
No.
We had a call the other day with Veronica Figueroa, another great powerhouse in industry.
Oh,
really great friend, and glad to be in business with her as well.
Oh yeah.
So we were on a call session with her, and I don't know what it was, man. I had a call. It turned out to be a terrible call for me.
Right.
But all they could hear was my side of the call on that thing, and they were like, "Man, that was a great call." I was like, "The dude hung up on me." They were like, "He did?" Well, yeah, he was cursing me out the whole time. And they were like,
they didn't hear that side of the call.
They're like, hey, he was cursing you out. You look like you was having a good time.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, I think that's actually one of the things that we talked about. I don't know when we talked about this, but you know, like when somebody's cursing you out, because you know, I worked in the call center too, so I got some I got a little bit of
a lot of the curse out.
Yeah. Curse out plenty of times. Plenty of time. So here's the one thing that we realize though. There's usually about 3 options that are gonna happen. One, they're gonna hang up on you, or somebody's gonna hang up, right?
Right.
2, I'm gonna get angry with you, right? Like all the time, I'll be like, you know what, it's like screw you two, you know, like that's the other option. But that third option, and that's when the magic happens. You say calm long enough. You say calm long enough, and all of a sudden they're like, man, I wasn't even mad at you. I had all this going on. If my house didn't sell, like all this is happening, I'm getting agents calling me, promising the world. It's like, yeah, man, I completely understand. That's that magic, right? Because that little bit of criticism, it's not even directed towards you, right? It's like at you.
Well, I got to this point, man, where you guys, listen, take this with a grain, right? I got to the point, man, where I'm trying to get them to hang up on me.
Yeah.
Right. I got to this thing where I already don't have the listing. Right. Like, I don't remember who it was that said it to me, but it clicked something in my head. You already don't have the listing. Right. And I've equated it to walking through a room full of eligible, dateable other. Right. Yeah. So like whatever your other is, whatever you would date. Right. Whatever that would be for you. You walk into a room. 100% of them are eligible and dateable. Right.
Okay. Yeah.
There's going to be 30% that you're going to be like, nope, whatever that feather shit is in his head, I'm not fucking with that. You know, that who wears a beard like that, and you know, whatever. Too hairy, not hairy enough, too tall, too short. You know, there's going to be all of this stuff that goes through your head that eliminates a good third of the room.
Right off the bat.
Then there's another third, whatever that is, right off the bat, right? And then there's another 30 or so percent where you might, but there's something about it. You get a feeling, there's no vibe, there's no energy. Right. They're talking to that other person anyway, right? So they probably are, you know, whatever. And then there's a 30% that's just downright weird.
Yeah.
Right? It's just downright weird.
Right.
You don't know why. You have no reason why, but you're not going to talk to them. You won't even get to them. Right? There's that 10% that all I'm looking for is that 10% every day.
Right.
Maybe it could, maybe it couldn't, maybe so, whatever, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
You get stuck in this space, man, where it's like you're trying to date everybody in the room.
Yeah.
It's idiotic. Let me just get you to hang up on me. So I say wild shit, man, to get them to hang up on me, man. You're like, how fast can I get this guy to hang up on me?
All right. well, I think that's what it comes down to, though, too. Like you said, like if for those who have been in the dating world, who are currently in the dating world, who have ever dated anybody, I think you can understand where you're coming from with this, right? Where you're just like, you'll go on a date just to go on a date, right? You'll go and talk to someone just to talk to them, and then you soon realize like that's not the right thing to do. Time's wasted, energy's wasted. Like your mental capacity is wasted, right?
Yeah.
And then also, you're like, man, is everybody like that? Is that how it always happens?
And you start cramming that stuff in your head. Then you stop going out on dates.
Yep. It's the same thing with calling, right? It's the same thing going on listing appointments and getting listing contracts and working with buyers. You're going to stop, like, you're going to start having a mental block. Like, man, everybody's like that.
Gonna be like this.
That happens to me, right? When in reality, you're putting yourself in that position, right? You should have went on that date in the first place. Right.
Well, here's what I'm learning from you, right? So the internet, Facebook, social media cements relationships 10 times faster and 10 times better.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm putting out content,
right?
And the people that are responding to the content, all they are is that 10%.
Yeah.
And so if I'm just going to reach in and be like, this week we'll go out on a date and see if it makes sense. And this week we'll go out on a date and make sense. There's your elimination process. You don't even have to go to the bar.
Right.
We're about to change the dating world.
Right. Now we started content and calling. It's about to be like dating and content, or like, I don't know. We're gonna figure out a new one here. It looks like Sekou Pyle is gonna have a whole new course in play.
We'll have a whole new course in a little while.
Right,
People a different audience.
Right. No, but with that being said, you're so right with that. Like when it comes down to the content, this is what happens if you don't define your audience first. This is what happens if you're not authentic with your content. If you don't have something like we have going on, where we're clearly telling you it's virtual real estate training, content and calling, like everything going on, right? If you don't clearly tell people what your intentions are, they don't understand it. You're not gonna have people tuning in. You're gonna have people coming in and out, and you're gonna have a crowd, right?
Yeah.
Like it's just about to be a bunch of people gathering there that have no idea why the hell they're there, of a whole different, like it just will not make sense, right? All of a sudden, will I tune in next week? Probably not. Because I'll be like, I didn't like it this week. Why would I tune in next week? Right.
I tell you what, my son is dying to be in the shot, man. He's back and forth.
He's working hard. Yeah.
We're having a happy birthday celebration outside right now. So we actually, the power of your brand, the power of content and calling is the power of being able to dictate and define your day, being able to dictate and define your business and your business flow. We don't ever have to take a day off because everything is relevant. Yeah. Everything is relevant, right? We are human beings. We are making connections. We are solidifying and cementing connections. And at the same time, we're showing, hey, listen, this is our lifestyle. Right. And this is how I'm able to live this lifestyle. Right. And we're getting great results, man. Nick, the work that you've put in, man, the agents are doing so much with the content that we're creating as a result of sort of our content and calling mindset, that I think it would be very safe for me to say that they are probably about 3 times busier than they normally would be.
Well, what I think it comes down to is, like we said, it's a combination of both, right? You can't really become you can't become that go-to agent with just one of these in today's world.
No,
right?
It's an addition market.
For the people that are out there saying like, oh, I've done it before. Yeah. 10 years ago, maybe 5 years ago. Right. Like it's evolutionizing. It's literally an evolution. It's like, it's Darwinism. Like the best realtors are coming out of this COVID, are coming out of these different situations. And they're going to
doing crazy stuff too, man.
Crazy stuff. But here's the thing. When you break it down, there's simple fundamentals for you to follow. Content and calling are 2 of those huge pillars that if you take out one of those legs, you're going to fall over. right?
Yeah.
Like, and I think
Three-legged stool.
right. Well, that's the combination of it, though, man.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's a great example of when people say I'm too busy to take on a whole new project or like to do these videos or whatnot. So I had
like,
10
what are you
minutes.
doing?
I had 10 minutes in between a block this week, right? It wasn't even 10 minutes in between. It was just one of my meetings ended at 20 minutes instead of a half hour, right? So I'm sitting there. I'm like, all right, I have a couple video texts I want to knock out, but it was raining. So I'm like, screw it. I'm going to use the rain. It was corny as hell.
You went out. I saw those videos.
Yeah. No, there's a video, but like my video text, it was the corniest thing, but I'm like, I'm just going to run with it because it pops in my head. I ran outside. I'm like, man, that last video was so fire to come out here in the rain and cool off. And it was one of my clients. I'm like, I'm just going to send it. It'll be fun, like fun and games. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, I'm like, you know what? There's some other people I have in mind, but every single video I used the rain as like almost like a prop, right? Like, hey, I know you got your video text to shoot this week. I just came out here in the rain to show you, rain or shine, we're still doing it, right? And it was just like quick things, knocked out. Here, let me get to this point really quick. Within those 10 minutes in between calls, I knocked out 15 video texts, literally 15 video texts to our clients, other people. And on top of that, I went live telling people you can do this too, and you can do it in the rain, and you can knock this out in 10 minutes. Came inside and still had 2 minutes to spare.
I want to give you props. 2 minutes to spare. So here's what I was going to interrupt you and say. I want to give you props, right?
Yeah.
I ran to all of the agents that I'm working with, ran to them and said, hey, immediately after you set an appointment, immediately after you make a good and positive contact, name the puppy. Yeah. And they all looked at me like I was crazy. I said, no,
said name the puppy.
Name the puppy. And they were like, what the hell does he mean by that? I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. You wasn't on the video call with me. Soon as you get off the call, Stevie says he's got one of those. It was awesome. There you go. He got one of the video texts from me. Right. So as soon as we got off the call, setting appointments, just making contacts, I took it a step further, Nick. I didn't just wait until we set an appointment. We made a good contact. They sent a video text. Do you know that this week there was that everyone in the group, I have them making 4 appointments a day. Everyone in the group has gone over on their appointments now.
Wow.
Right. There was some that were at 3. Now, here's the thing. I'm setting goals that are way beyond normal stuff. Right. So I've got agents that are setting 3 appointments, 2 appointments a day using the Name the Puppy. Listen, Name the Puppy is now officially a chapter in the book.
They all know it now. You can look at each other like, did you name the puppy? Right. It really does go a long way. And that's just one of the little tools that we give you guys in the Sekou Pyle training. And again, we're rolling it out. We're putting some finalizing touches on it. But you can't name the puppy if you never had the phone call. And if you can't close the appointment, then you can't have the video text that comes with it. Right. Yeah. So like that's where when we both sat down and we realized like, man, we're fighting the same battle, trying to get more listings, get in front of more people, get our name well known. And it's just two completely different completely different legs of the business that to this point, I have not seen anybody synchronize.
Nope.
I have not seen one person sit down and say, here's how you mesh your content and your calling. Here's how you work your videos into your calling and your prospecting. There's people out there saying you need to stop prospecting. You need to hit the videos. There's people saying you need to keep prospecting and stop the videos. You're both wrong. You need to do both. You need to do both. Right? Calling's never like I firmly believe calling's never really going to go away. Right?
Well, I can't. The deal has to happen some way, shape, or form. Nobody's doing a deal in email.
Right. that's a good point.
No one's like, okay, hey, let's close this puppy. Get him on the phone or get her on the phone is always where it boils down to.
Yeah. Well, it's getting people on the phone and just taking it a step further. It's also having people reach out to you. It's also solidifying your relationship after you have the phone call. There's so many different and here's a cool thing. The things that we cover with you guys and that we're touching on here as well, we're not going to tell you to buy a whole new CRM. No, we're not going to tell you, okay, to do this, you have to buy that, right? I hate courses like that, so we're not a course like that. It's just specific actionable items that every agent has to implement in order to grow their business, right?
I'll tell them like this, Nick. if you looked at a volume control knob, you're
Yeah.
starting your business, you got more time than you got money.
Yeah.
So we're going to teach you how to use your time, and we'll teach you as this stuff starts to roll in how to use your money.
Yep. Simple.
It's all the way through, and it's all the way simple. Hey,
Yeah.
I want to sort of emphasize something, right?
Yeah.
Hey, you know me, I'm always like, okay, let's take action on this stuff. Let's do this. Let's do this thing. Let's see how this works, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
We started implementing a lot of the content that you've put in front of us, just like a system, right?
Yeah.
Just step 1, step 2, step 3. And it has generated over 150 calls for me this week. Wow. 150 contact calls. People have been talking to me. I've got friends and family that are talking to me about property and properties and buying and selling that I'll be honest with you, I may or may not have done it before. I've got calls that I am delinquent in calling back based on content. And I've never been behind in calls before, man.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
holy crap, I gotta do this and I gotta do that. So
yeah.
I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go out on a limb and say, if you are one of those people that say, oh, well, I don't do calls, I only do social media, or I don't do social media, I only do calls. I'm going to tell you now, you need to take a look at the system. You need to take a look at the ideas and the concepts, and do me a favor, prove us wrong, deconstruct it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I'm be willing to go up against the test any day.
Right. I know you will, and that's the great thing. And it's, well, like you said, it's tough when somebody just says do more video. I'm not a big, like, I am a fan, like, making sure you're in the right mindset, doing the right things. But I've bought plenty of video courses, right? I've been to plenty of video masterminds, to people telling you how to do things, and a lot of times it's just saying you just got to do it. You just got to go live more. You need to just talk about this or that, and it's like that's great. But I'm not about having a unproven, unrepeatable business model, right? It's like that's one thing that's always been instilled in my brain. Like, how do I have a proven, repeatable business? How can we duplicate this? How can we all get this to more people? How can we duplicate it to other people within our business? And that's what we've done with content. You hear us say it all the time in the boot camp, systematizing creativity. That's one thing that we've really done with our content. All right, after you make this call, then you send this video. Okay, after you do this, then you do that. I'm all about black and white. Here's what you do. Here's what you don't do. That whole gray area of just run with your content. Do this whenever you want. You just got to do it. It's like, all right, yeah, that might have worked 5-10 years ago. It's like, but I'm not trying to just create videos just for fun. I've done that. It's not fun when I realize I'm losing money doing something, right? Like, when I realize I'm spending more time and energy and I'm not getting any return, that ain't fun for me.
That ain't fun.
No.
Well, I look at it through the prism now of, so what's my primary market? My primary market is helping other people succeed, right?
Okay.
And so if we broke down personality styles, like there's an ass for every seat, my grandfather used to say. And so there's a really logistical.
Grandparents got some great sayings, by the way.
Dude, you'll hear me talk about my granddad all the damn time. Okay. So we break down some real logistical stuff for the analyticals. We break down some very actionable stuff for the drivers. We break down some very eloquent and big thinking idea stuff for the expressives. And we are connecting with people right where they are for the amiables. Like, there's something for everyone inside of this content and calling workshop. I am going to do something, man. We have been challenging the agents over and over again to outperform their dreams. And so the question that we've been asking the agent is, how bad do you want it? How obsessed can you be about your business? And so one of the things that is clear right now is that content is like your what'd you call it? You said it's like your television station. It's like your network, and each piece of content is like a different show. Right. So I am challenging agents to create one thing to put out for their audience and get some attention. Come through, see us. We'll help you to put that content together. We'll help you to put those contacts together so we can create some contracts. Content, contacts, contracts.
Right. That's like one of those things. You walk into second grade, you see that X plus Y equals Z. Content plus calling, or what'd you say? Contact.
Content, contract. I mean, contents, contacts,
contracts. Right.
Let's go.
Simple formula. We walk you through step by step.
Let's grow.
Let's go, baby. All right, thank you. Thanks for coming on. You know, we're going to come back at you guys next week, and we're going to have everything. Mark my words this time. We're going to have everything ready. We're going to be ready to roll it out by next week when we launch Sekou Creme. Super pumped. Right, I'm really proud of what we put together.
It looks good. I keep showing my family.
Yeah. Right. Man, and on top of that too, I'm sitting there like I'm taking notes as you were going through your stuff too. I'm like, man, we got to teach your guys this and that. You know, like it was fantastic just having the collaboration of both content and calling. It's something I've never done before, right? I haven't seen it done before.
I've not done it either. I'm doing it with you.
Right. First time ever. Sekou Creme.
Let's break this shit.
All right, brother. We'll see you next week.
Love you, bro.